But you know who doesn't use don't you and don't you dare? I think the game is on the right track. It is. Maitetsu. Yeah. The fucking people watching the VODs would not know what I'm talking about. But anyway, last time we played, stuff happened, and the stuff that happened is stuff that I don't remember. Oops. It's been a while. It's almost been a week since I published the last VOD of Maitetsu. Oopsies. I don't even remember if I have a first half of this VOD. Uh-oh. But anyway, I need to get through this because I need to grind this shit out. I need to make sure that I have a backlog of Maitetsu videos so that I don't accidentally run out and I miss a day on the weekdays for a visual novel. Right? That is kind of like the only thing that is the only problem that arises out of me only releasing the visual novels of games that only releasing episodes of visual novels that I only stream. Because then, like, what if I miss a day because I didn't have enough content for Maitetsu because I'm always tired. But anyway, enough about my yapping, because I've been doing a whole bunch of that before playing this game, and let's get into it, shall we? I think this is the right one. Yeah. It is the latest. It is the latest one. This is bad. I'm awake, but my body feels heavy. Honestly, I don't feel like waking up. I thought I was more fit than this. After exploring around while carrying Reina, I then trained with Nagi. It seems that I worked myself a bit too hard yesterday. A wide range of my muscles are now aching.
それでも起きねば無駄にしてしまう。昨日のあれほどの特訓を。
Are you telling me this guy has not experienced DOMs when he was shoveling fucking tons of coal for 4 hours or for hours on end? Are you saying his arms didn't fucking? Are you telling me his arms were working just fine the next day? That's the most unrealistic part of this game. Even though it's summer, Kuma River is cold at night. After getting drenched and swallowing water numerous times, I figured out one thing. I can't do this alone with Nagi.
熊川は思春期の女の子だといつか深見が話していたが。
It's difficult to manage and changes tempers instantly. But despite the water's beauty on the surface, the river's cloudy. If that's what you call an adolescent girl, it's something I've never been able to manage. I'd never be able to manage.
ガダ、僕にあしらえるものならば。
相鉄様、起きておいでですか？
ああ。
Before I can speak of her, Hachiroku's silhouette appears. My emotions feel uplifted.
二度寝の誘惑と戦っていたところだ。
過去形ならばよろしゅうございました。相鉄様にお客様です。
客？
Is it Paulette? I look at the clock. It's not even 6:30 yet.
ポーレット様です。寝ているようなら起こさないでいいとおっしゃって。
No way! I can't believe it's Paulette. It's almost like this is her route or something.
5分だけ待ってもらってくれ。
This isn't the time to be feeling sluggish. As if to tear off the stiffness, I get up. I grim myself at the bare minimum and head to the living room. Paulette's way. I cannot hear the word groom in the same way as I used to. Paulette's waiting there with a nervous look on her face. Like, holy shit, has there been so many YouTubers outed as groomers? It's become a meme. That's when you know it's a problem.
おはよう、ポーレット。今日はショーできずにすまんな。
いえ、事情が事情ですし、今日はスケジュール、議会と常務だけですし。
She speaks quickly in a nervous way, and then makes an even more nervous expression. Paulette then bows.
っていうか、私こそすみません。こんな朝早くから。
常務前にということならば、この時間になる。すまなくなどは全くないが、何かあったか？
何もないといいなって。もちろん、何もないに決まってるんですけど。ですから、念のためっていうか。
She holds out both her hands. Inside them are...
お守り袋。
はい。昨日の今日のお話でしたから、
That is adorable.
手作りか。これはありがたい。
I accept it, and Paulette looks obviously relieved.
ちっちゃいので、精一杯だったんですけど。
It's a small good luck charm, but I can tell that a lot of care was put into making it.
カエルの刺繍。なるほど。無事帰るというお守りだな。
すみません。子供っぽくて。
That is a very Japanese pun, though. Hang on.
カエルの刺繍。なるほど。無事帰るというお守りだな。
Yeah, because the word for frog is kaeru, right? Hang on, I need to see this. Right, yeah. Frog is spelled kaeru, and safety, or returning safely, I guess. Is what is it? I guess is Kaido? Something like that.
いや、こうしたものはむしろシンプルなほど願いが通じそうな気がするよ。
I don't know much about embroidery, but the finishing in this is superb. I knew she was good at repetitive work, but I didn't think she could sew too.
ありがとう。これなら僕も事故なく乗務できそう。
I feel something rustle at my fingertips. Is there something wrapped in the paper inside?
中はダメです。開けちゃダメ。開けたらお守り効果がなくなりますから。
That makes it even more suspicious. What did you put in the bag, Paulette?
もうすまん。
So something is inside it. I had no intention of opening it, but I made Paulette panic by not knowing what it was. And that reaction makes you want to open it even more, doesn't it?
っていうかですね、今日大丈夫そうですか？なぎちゃんと二人で。
She's talking at a quicker pace than usual. She must really be worried about me.
ナギと二人ではとても無理そうだったので、フォローを頼むことにした。
フォローって誰にですか？
私です。私とナビと。
86ちゃん。
Carrying a scarlet lacquered tray with some teacups, Hachinoku enters the room gracefully. Slowly, but something about her movements tell me she's not happy.
86ちゃんがフォローって？
より厳密には、フォローを行うのはナビだ。86は、ナビとの共感で僕に情報を伝達する。
Paulette claps her hands.
わかりました。ナビちゃん、いつも相鉄くんを上空からモニターしてるから。
故にあれには、僕が川下り船に乗った何度かのデータも蓄積されている。
Navi, downstreaming is an act that places unnecessary danger upon myself. That's why it takes specific details to analyze and also prevent accidents.
流れの状況に応じ、最も安全に川を下れるコース取りのシミュレートを、ですからナビは行えます。
Her tone and expression are calm, but I can tell from her eyes that she's not convinced why.
それを最高効率で相鉄様に伝達するため、この私が、船に乗るなど。
乗るだけではなく、乗りこなすのだ。僕と二人で、船頭の職務をこなさねばならん。
分かっております、相鉄様。
Atsudoku closes her eyes, as if she's trying to hide everything. Hide everything within her.
安全は最大の使命。それは、周運においても同じと存じます。
無理をさせることは申し訳ない。
Atsudoku is a thing. She defines herself as a thing meant to be used by me. Yeah, but Dexter would disagree. But even so, I know that Hatsudoku has her own will and wishes.
86の不満はわかるつもりだ。僕と86が揃って、なぜ船なのだという気はしてる。
Her open eyes look to me. That by itself tells me that my inference is true.
だが、無人の客車を引いても、8620は満足すまい。本当の意味での復活のため、これは必要な一歩なのだ。
必要な一歩なのですね。
A small nod.
満員の客車を、笑顔に満ちたお客様たちを、もう一度、あの子に引かせてあげるために。
僕はそうだと確信している。
A revived tourism industry is needed for 8620 to pull a filled passenger car. As of right now, the Kuma River downstreaming is the face of Ohito tourism. I mean, you know, the last two routes they didn't do the same thing and they still achieved full passenger cars. If that phase suffers any kind of damage, the revival of the industry will be pushed further away.
私の本望は、相鉄様にお使いいただくこと。どのような役割であれ、そこに不満などはございません。
She must have understood. Hatsudoku's eyes softened.
ですが、私が船に乗ることがあの子の役に立つと、そう理解でき、心のトゲを抜いていただけたように思います。
ならばよかった。
本当に、そうですよね。この一歩は必要な一歩。寄り道に見えても本当は、ゴールへきっと近づける。
Uh-oh. You didn't hear that. An encouraging statement from Paulette. I look at her, and our eyes meet.
団体のお客様のご予約をいただいているのは16時だ。
I tell her today's schedule. The explanation on safety equipment and directions to the dock took about 30 minutes. I tell her about the floor from Fukami, still sick in bed, and Midori.
そっか。それなら。
Paulette mumbles to herself and then stands up. She bids us farewell and bows. After raising her head, she asks me one more time.
それと少しだけ、ナビちゃんとお話しさせてもらっていいですか？
無論だ。通信をするならすぐに。
いえ、直接。どこか着水してるところで。
そうか。ならば、レールショップへ戻る途中の、お城橋のあたりに着水するよう指示しよ
助かります。お願いします。
う。その程度はお安いご用だ。が、ナビと一体何を話すのだ？
She just smiles, a bit troubled, but also a bit playfully.
内緒でいいですか？失敗したらちょっと恥ずかしいですから。
何かに挑戦するのか。
挑戦って言うと大げさな気もしますけど、でもはいそうなります。
ならばお互い一刻たりとも無駄にはできんな。
I stand up while stretching. I put away the good luck charm in my breast pocket, and then move the same right hand out.
それぞれ最善の準備を尽くし、良い挑戦を行おう。
A soft smile, as if it's a ray of sunshine. Our hands held together give us both courage. A short handshake is all that's needed. We head our separate ways. The water isn't that hot. I thought that the sound effect would end. It did not. Never mind. My body's fatigued and cold from training and falling overboard. It really stings.
よし。
I wipe myself down and change, then put on a happy coat. What? All that's left is the big moment. My growing willpower shakes off the weight of my body.
遅いわーい。男のくせに長風呂ばい。
I don't think I took more than 5 minutes to take the shower. It takes as long as I do. But I don't want to rain on Nagi's parade. And I also don't want to worry Fukami, who's sleeping in the room farther inside.
すまん。気合を入れ直していた。
Why are you looking at me like that? Nagi looks around me. She stares and is breathing heavily through her nose. It feels like I'm being examined, so I stand up straight.
気合ば姿に出とるばい。兄さんの着こなしなかなかよかとよ。
お褒めに預かり光栄だ。
みなりばお客さんに与える影響大きかとからね。
She's projecting her voice louder than usual. So that's why. She's making sure she can be heard farther into the room. It's a way of reducing the worries of Fukami, who's on bed rest, as directed by the doctor.
お客様が感じる不安はそのまま船のリスクになる。経験が浅いなどと思われぬよう、常に堂々と振る舞う。
そうばい。それが大事ばい。
Nagi and I grin together as we talk aloud on the list of checkpoints. There's no reaction from the room in the back. I think that's proof that Fukami is relieved.
深見様、お体だいぶ楽になったご様子でした。
my assumption is proven by Hachiroku as she comes from the back. She takes off her mask, gloves, and a protective plastic sheet. She appears to be light-footed as she walks over to us.
おかゆもすべてきれいにお上がりになられて、なぎ様に美味しかった、ごちそうさまとのことでした。よか
ったわい。
Nagi bends over at the knees. She rounds her back and lets out a big sigh.
おい、
なぎ様
Grab. Nagi had gotten a jump start, but I managed to grab her by the sleeve at the last minute.
何するばい。
She fights my hold like a playful little kitten. I know how she feels, but if I let go right now,
何のため私一人がお見舞いに行ったのですか。
Hachiroku has an astonished tone, but a part of her seems kind about it.
なぎ様までもが風邪をひいたら、明日以降も川下り船の営業に支障が出てしまいます。
Exactly.
大丈夫ばい。風邪とかひいたことなかけん。
Yeah, I bet Fukami thought that too.
だとしても、移しちゃってたらどうしようと、深見は余計な不安を抱えることとなるぞ。
She freezes like a cat with its tail grabbed. Right after that, Nagi calms down.
わかったばい。深見ちゃんに会うの、今日のところは我慢しとくばい。
それがいい。明日になれば、回遊した深見と心置きなく話せよ
う。そうして、その席で報告すればよいのです。
Hachiroku says in a gentle way. You could even say that Hachiroku's acting like Nagi's big sister or mother right now.
今日のこと、どれほど見事に川下りをし、いかにお客様たちにご満足いただけたかを。
わかったわい。そうすればい。
ごめんなんしょ。予約しとった田所いうもんだがね。
お待ちして。
お待ちしておりました。ようこそいらっしゃいませ。
She must have imitated exactly what Fukami said and how she acted. Nagi expresses her usual Kumamoto dialect and guides the group skillfully. I was gonna say she didn't use by for once.
なぎ様、頑張っておられますね。
ああ。
Nagi appears to be doing everything she can for the sake of her friend.
まず皆さんに救命胴衣をお配りします。前と後ろに気をつけてくださいね。
Her Kumamoto dialect still slips out from time to time, but that doesn't stop her. Her words and attitude are fueled by her friendship. It's actually quite beautiful, really. There should still be something I can do for Paulette. I now understand that is yet another thing I should do immediately. In order to make the people of Ohitoyo happy, I must first make Paulette happy.
86、行くぞ。船の準備をしておこう。
はい、相鉄様。
Happy wife, happy life. But Paulette's not wife yet.
相鉄様、進路を一時、背に入ってください。
ん？
The poles are used by pushing with my legs and hips. I put tension into the back of my knees and then spin around the pole using my hips only.
おー！
I thought I was doing the same way I practiced it, but possibly due to the fatigue, I've made things a little rough.
水かぶったっぺよ。
そりゃお客さんラッキーば
Yeah, you're lucky because you've got a shit driver. What would you call a ferryman? Maybe she didn't have the capacity to pretend any longer on water. Or maybe the guests influenced her by doing so, to do so. Nagi is talking just like usual now. She's getting people excited like she normally does.
球磨川の水は健康によかとよ。源流の方じゃ、長命水ば言われとるばい。
ありゃ、それじゃ頭からかぶらんと損だっぺ。
Gaslighting 101.
兄さん、もっとザブザブ波立てておくれよし。
I don't have the capacity to answer. But if I'm called to, I'll have to respond.
ご期待ください。
あの兄さんは有名やけんね。思いもよらんとこできっと大波立てやるばい。
He's really famous for being shit.
おお、そりゃ楽しみだっぺ。
My abrupt responses are softened by Nagi. To be honest, that was some quick thinking. She turns my inexperienced skills into high hopes with just a single phrase. Yeah, she's girl bossing right now. Gaslight gatekeep girl boss. Maybe not the gatekeep part. Up ahead is a different part. I'll be making some waves whether I want to or not. Because of the drizzle, my vision is limited. I hone my senses, but stay relaxed, so that I can hear all of Hachiroku's directions, and to not miss any signs.
宗達様、10時方向に大きく迂回してください。2時、右前方の岩の下は広く浅瀬です。
うん。
おっとっと。
We evade a large rock, and then come through to a cool breeze. That must have pushed us through the drizzle, as the color of green at the edge of the river becomes darker.
釣り人ばい。おーい。
おうおう、手振り返してくれっぺか。ジョーちゃん、ここらじゃ何が釣れるんかね。
あゆばい。尺あゆって言って、こぎゃんと大きいことが釣れるとよ。
Yo, why didn't that fisherman catch some bitches, if you know what I mean? What?
だ。
Now you probably let go of the paddle and held out her hand when she said this big. I quickly put the pole back in the water and touched the bottom at the surprise. Fuck, I quickly put the pole back in the water and touched the bottom at the surprisingly shallow spot. Touched. The force of that splash, of that splashes some more.
うっぷ。
こぎゃんとタイミングでやりやるばい。
こら参ったっぺ。
Happy murmurs mixed in with laughter. Nagi's follow-ups are truly effective. The splash right now drenched them in a way that could have easily turned into a complaint. Nagi cries out. She slowly points upward. Looking down at the guests, I frantically turn up.
これは。
おお。ああ。こりゃあ見事な。
The awed silence is drowned out by numerous shudder sounds. And then some more call-outs mixed with sighs.
ああ。お人よじゃ、焦げなにじさ、よう見れっぺか。
Yeah, don't worry about how Nagi was surprised that she saw a rainbow. You obviously you get to see rainbows all the time.
ないばい。見るの初めてばい。こぎゃんと丸くかかった虹。
I thought she was going to play into it, but I guess she's too honest. It's true that even I haven't seen one as great as this. A beautiful rainbow that is perfectly round. No. Staring at it will be dangerous. I tell myself to calm down and quietly drop my eyes back down to the water surface. Right at the same time, Hachidoku looks up to the sky for some reason. She turns her gaze to somewhere higher than the top of the rainbow. Talk about Navi.
どうした八六？
相鉄様、2時。空のではなく、時計の2時。よどみに船を進めてください。
Oh. Thanks for the hydrate.
ああ。
And the stretch. I see. Moving the boat through the murky waters will slow us down. She must have wanted the guests more time. Must have wanted the guests more time to look at the rainbow.
相鉄様、今です。よどみをで、元の流れに戻ってください。
なんと、もうか。
Setting aside the doubt in my mind, my body quickly follows Hachiroku's direction.
皆様、前方、虹の中央をご覧ください。
Nagi blurts out a weird cry at Hachiroku's sudden announcement.
朱色の鉄橋、
Ah!
熊川第四橋梁をご覧いただけますでしょうか。
Yeah, that definitely was a weird cry. Yeah. Anyway, let's go back to that. Magical Marriage Lunatics is the next one of the next VNs, right? It's been a long time since I asked. Magical Marriage Lunatics will be one of the visual novels that I play, yes. I still haven't gotten it, but I'll eventually play it. Off stream, obviously, because it's not a category. And, well, I'll eventually release it, right? Just, you know, I'm thinking about playing through it. There are naked character sprites, so yeah, I thought so. I'm thinking of playing through it all the way through, right? And then I'll release it. Right? I think it's better that way. But then, at the same time, I also need to get through... I also need to actually start recording hate scenes of the games that I've been playing. I've been procrastinating, as you could tell. Wait, what? I like it when I can keep up with your theories. Yeah, but that's the thing, though. If that's the case, then, like, throughout the game, I mean, you'll know when I start recording it. It's just that, you know, like watching it as you're playing it. I mean, you'll know. It's just that, you know, I'd like a backlog. See the whole progress as of your reactions. Right. But I'll talk about it during my streams. Just, you know, like when I record Seton Academy or other anime that I release on my Patreon that you should go to. So, you know, you need a full VN backlog. I mean, not a full one. Maybe like, that is kind of extreme. I mean, yeah. Maybe like a month backlog or something. So, you know, that's a lot of videos. That's like 10 videos of backlog, right? Around there, 10 to 11. Right, depending on the month. How about making a $10 or $20 tier for videos when they finish? Like early releases. What do you mean by that? No. YouTube member. No. Because, like, if here's the thing, right? The reason I would prefer to have a backlog is because of holidays and shit, right? You don't have to keep up with the early releases. I mean, yeah, I know. You know what? That isn't that bad of an idea, right? I'll think about it. I'll let it stew for a bit, right? But yeah. It's just that, you know, yeah, I'm paying for potential early releases. Right. You'll know when I start early releasing, you know. You have to make sure you put it in the description. Yeah. Potential early releases. Well, they're not going to be potential if I'm trying to keep a backlog, right? They're going to be early releases. Either way, I'll think about it. Right? But I've been yapping for too long. You get more money. Yeah, I get more money from one person because I still haven't gotten... I guess I need to market my Patreon more or whatever.
朱色の鉄橋、球磨川第四橋梁をご覧いただけますでしょうか。
ああ。
I let out a cry without thinking. Was she adjusting the timing by heading into the stagnant waters? And this morning, Paulette and Navi were talking about this. Ah. It was all planned out from the start. The sound of the typhon, the rumbling noise of the trains shakes the silence of the river. Maybe I can market your channel through the chatbots I make. That definitely does not. I don't think that would work.
Whoa! Korea!
Rainbow Bridge and an iron bridge, and some lingering mist in the middle of that is Kieha 7, traveling at a leisurely speed. It feels almost as if we wandered inside a picture book. The scenery looks fantastical and simply beautiful.
Ah.
It looks almost as good. It almost looks good enough to be a CG, but I don't think it is. But I can't look. The leg of the bridge will be coming up soon.
相鉄様、 11時、流れに船を。
分かっている。
Who knows, maybe you will get one more person on stream from it, I guess. I push against the pole to move the boat into the frothy current. At the same time, I rile myself up to prepare for what's to come from here on.
お待たせばい
Seems like it flipped a switch with Nagi as well. Seems like it flipped the switch with Nagi as well. She paddles hard to get to the current quicker.
ここから先こそ熊川隊急流下りの本番ばいなぎちゃん、なぎちゃん、見せて見せて。
It is allowed on Chubb AI. I mean, I've seen a lot of people marketing Discord channels, but that's also Discord servers, but that's also because they're relevant to the person who's making the bots, right? So, you know, yeah. You know what? You do you, right? I am relevant to you, I guess. You are my only viewer and mod.
もちろんばい深見ちゃんに見せてあげたくて撮ったばい
In Nagi's hand is a sleek cell phone device. Fukami looks over, and her cheeks turn rosy-colored. It seems that she's fully recovered from her cold.
素敵なにこれちょっとずるい私毎日川下りしてるのに昨日だけとか
さて、それだ。ああ、ナギ。よければ、携帯を回してみんなに見せてくれ。
よかったよ
Everyone cheers as they see it. The group members all have big smiles on their faces. I am not so carefree as to miss the gigantic hint in front of me.
虹は純粋な偶然だが、川下り線の進行に合わせての列車の鉄橋通過。これは素晴らしいアイディアだった。
私
It seems she still isn't used to the praise. Paulette's still red and facing the ground.
乗務もあるけど船頭さんの相鉄くんも見てみたくて本当にそれだけだったんです。
の
Her statement and the unexpectedness of it causes my thoughts to freeze up for a moment. Happy, 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 happy. That single word almost takes over my entire brain. I force myself to move my mouth to continue talking.
理由はどうあれ、これだけの満足度を出すイベントを観光振興につなげる方はないかと僕は考えた。
キハレイナナイスも美しく可愛らしい車両ですが、川下り線から見たとき、86はより絵になるかと存じます。
Everyone nods in agreement. Even Paulette and Rana do so. 8620 would run over the bridge while spitting out smoke, but it'd be incredibly grand. It would be incredibly grand from this angle down on the water.
川下りと鉄道との連携。これにマイントレジャーも絡めていきたい。
絡みたいです。
If the Kami jumps up, if I can get this reaction from the rest of the Ohito citizens, the tourism promotions would surely be a success.
術船炭鉱廃駅と鉱山鉄道と復活させ、まずはその区間をキハレイナナに案内してもらう。
レイナ、お任せされちゃいますよ。
廃宿舎群で謎解きをしてもらい、しかる後、トロッコ移動で坑道入り口へ最短体験をしてもらう。
I've explained up to this point, not a single person raises any doubts.
掘り返した石炭は宝箱に詰め、 木原レイナナにはそのまま湯の井駅へ向かってもらう。
お人よに戻るんじゃないんですか？
その通り。そこからは川下りでお人よまでを移動してもらう。
けど強制だと遠回りでお金取られてるって印象持たれちゃうんじゃ。
おう。
Hibiki's exactly right. They may be interested in the coal mines, but they may not necessarily be interested in the downstreaming.
戻りの線路が使えんことにすればええばい。例えば落盤が起きたとかなんとかで。あ、そっか。全部が一つのアトラクション、ストーリー仕立てにしちゃえばいいんだ。
Gleaning a hint from Nagi's words, Hibiki opens up her sketchbook. She suddenly stops.
なんかストーリー。
無理を言うな。僕は現実しか見ん男だぞ。
亡霊。廃宿舎群や炭鉱に亡霊が出ることにしたらどうでしょうか？
亡霊？
炭鉱夫さんたちの亡霊です。隠し行動から大切な石炭が盗まれたと思って怒って暴れる。
暴れて線路にまで溢れ出して、木原レイナナは湯の井に退避するしかなくなるのか。
そうです。そんな感じで。
亡霊はまずかとよ。
Makoto quietly but definitively shoots down the idea, as if telling a group of kids enthralled with their games that it's time to go home.
炭鉱に苦か思い出を持っとる層をいたずらに刺激することになるけんね。
ああ、それは確かに。
言われてみればそうですね。なら妖精ってことでどうでしょう。
At the end of the day, they're just trying to lie. They're creating a fake story to bring in tourists. Paulette turns the idea on its head in an instant.
それ素敵です。鉱山妖精とってもいいです。
Yeah, the coal fairies. What? Fukami jumps at the idea.
鉱山妖精は水を渡れないから川下り船お人よまでの脱出のお役に立つです。
What do you... I thought fairies were meant to be a good thing. What do you mean, escape?
川岸に鉱山妖精が押し寄せてくると面白いかも。僕たちの石炭をどうするつもりだって。ずるいぞ、戻ってこいとか言わせると川に入れないこと、きっと誰にでもわかるです。
Paulette and Fukami play off one another. One loves fantasies, another loves to read. By building off the other's ideas, new ones are born.
川下りの途中で頭上の鉄橋を SL が駆け抜けていく。だけどそれは幻。もう走れないはずの8620。走れないのはもちろん石炭がないからです。
なるほど。掘った石炭を8620に上げるというオプションに、それならば大きなドラマが加わるわけか。
Paulette nods. I don't know when she started, but Hibiki's just been furiously drawing away in her sketchbook.
お人よに到着できたらそこで一旦ツアーはおしまい。その後は相鉄くんが言った通りにオプションで。
Naturally, they could also take the coal as a souvenir if they want. Who the fuck wants to have a piece of fucking coal as a souvenir? Bro, anyone who's handled coal/charcoal knows that that shit gets everywhere. Alright? No one wants it. No one would voluntarily keep a chunk of coal, alright? Hello, Meow. Daily reminder to take care of yourself and get some rest. Stream another slave day for me, so poof. Alright. Have a good day. We could even introduce them to craftsmen who offer to turn their coal into some kind of accessory. Okay, I guess that would be good.
船から見た幻の SL を気にかけてくれるお客様は石像機関庫に案内し8620と出会ってもらいます。
石炭をあげて生き返ってくれる8620に乗れたらきっとすごくいいって思うです。
8620を走らせてお人よ湯の井を往復するのか。
A smile. They all get what I'm asking. Paulette appears genuinely happy about it.
そうですね。妖精たちにその姿を見せて石炭はきちんと使われているって安心させてあげる。
それで鉱山妖精は喜んでくれて鉱山に笑顔で帰っていくとすごくいいです。
ならばエキストラを頼む感じになるのかな。
いいえ、そうてつくん。エキストラじゃなくてキャスト。マイントレジャーのキャストとして募集をかけましょう。
What did you say? Sorry, I couldn't hear the last part of your sentence.
いいえ、そうてつくん。エキストラじゃなくてキャスト。マイントレジャーのキャストとして募集をかけましょう。
You know, I've played this game so much, and I'm not used to their mouths moving. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, because if I move to a different visual novel that doesn't do that, what am I going to think? I mean, I guess if I move to Amazing... I didn't feel it, that different when I moved to Amazing Grace, so I guess... It's... I don't need to worry about it.
ああ、その方が確かに人は集まりそうか。
はい。職人さんたちや業者さんたちと無関係のごく普通の若者たちにきっと集まってもらいます。
So if I make a character bot from a visual novel you played, would you be okay with me putting your link tree in the character notes of the specific bot? I mean, I guess.
おお。
なるほど。妖精でしたら、老人よりも若者の方が、より雰囲気を出せますか。
She's right, but that's not all. It creates a higher labor force of the younger demographic. That means, the meaning of that would actually be rather significant. The mine treasure could come to be known as a place that hires any Ohitego treasure citizen.
線から面だな。
I think it is allowed. Yeah, I guess. It all started with the tiny point that is Hachiroku. Which then turned into various things and ultimately expanded to the railway tracks. And Paulette, as the consummate politician, expanded that line to a plane.
けどね。
A soft voice interrupts. A soft and quiet interjection as Paulette, as Makuda, by Makuda. She essentially serves as the adult in the room, because she's the oldest in the room.
まだいくらか、なんとかしなきゃいけんことがありよるよね。
いくらかとは。
一つ目は、8620の客車のこと。
それは私に心当たりが。
Mid-sentence, Paulette turns to Nagi.
さっきの写真、データをもらえる？きっと役に立つと思うから。よか
ばい！アドレスくれたら送っとく
ばい！ありがとう。よろしくね。
なんとかなるならそれはよし。よね。
A gentle smile. Makuda's eyes are pointed at Hachiroku.
私に何か。
8620の運転は、86ちゃんとそうちゃんが担当すると？
もちろんです。
なら、
そうだい、タイミング合わせ、ドギャンすっとよ。
You'd kind of have to, yes.
No.
I thought of having Nagi keep an eye on things from the sky. Navi keeping an eye on things from the sky. But when I think about it, Navi will be following 8620 anyway, since it'll be in it. I'll be in it. I can't always be tied up with the downstreaming boats, though.
それも解決できます。レイナが川下り船に乗ればそれだけで。
Oh shit, it's been a while since someone followed while I was streaming. Thanks for the follow. Nexon Mary's... Is it Mary Slessor or Mary's Lessor? Or 223. I'm still a little shocked that on your VOD channel on YouTube, that Uta route video is still the most viewed. I mean, yeah, I am surprised that the first 6 VODs on my channel are the most viewed VODs ever on my channel. VOD channel. Both channels, actually.
ああ、そうか。キハ・レイナのは、ポーレット一人でも動かせるものな。
です。お人よまでの戻りは無人の回送車両になるから、安全面のリスクも極限まで下げられますし。
A smile Makoto gives a completely different type of smile. She looks satisfied, but a part of her also seems sad for some reason.
ぽーちゃんに任せて、どうやら安心できそうやね。
Her eyes widen as if she's surprised. Maintaining her wide open eyes, Paulette looks straight at Makoto.
私、頑張ります。安心して任せていただけるように。
Maitetsu. Oh.
そうてつくん？
How many views do you get on a day? Do you get a day on your video analytics? Is there a specific visual novel that gets the most views recently? If you don't mind asking for the VOD channel. I mean, obviously the one that's been popping off, I guess, is Amazing Grace, right? And then alongside it, you've got Maitetsu, which barely gets anything, except, I guess, the last VOD for Hibiki's route, which I still think is botted, right? Because, like, it doesn't make sense. My concentration is interrupted when Paulette calls me. Not that I feel as if I'm being bothered or anything. Rather...
お疲れ様です。紅茶入れました。
ああ、すまんな。
Maybe I should make a Kyrie bot then. I guess, yeah. But like, what's the overlap between people who play visual novels and people who want visual novel chatbots, right? Who use chatbots and want visual novel chatbots. Because, like, you'd think that if the overlap was big enough, then people would have already made visual novel chatbots, but that's not the case, right? So, like, you know, I guess you're introducing a new audience if that's the case. Drinking it without milk or sugar gives it more fragrance and flavor than I'm used to. I'm appreciative of her consideration. My fatigue and drowsiness seem to melt away as I drink the tea.
レイナは
Rana was helping Paulette out earlier, but she's nowhere to be found now.
もうとっくに寝ちゃいました。あの子、早寝を心がけてますから。
ああ、
I think I understand. Rana's fixated on sleeping early because she's worried about her napping more than anyone else.
しかし、それにしても早すぎ。あ、
You get what I mean, right? I mean, yeah. I don't lose anything and you might gain something from it. Yeah, basically. I look at the clock and am surprised by what I see. It's already past midnight. When did that happen? It's not like putting a link in in the description of your chatbot is going to make people less want to use it, right? Like, most people aren't going to look at the description, and even if you do, it's more the quality of the chatbot that more people are focused on.
随分と根を詰めてしまっていたのだな。
My eyes are tired, and I can feel my back and arms getting stiff. This work is completely different from the downstreaming, but it needs just as much attention.
ありがとう、そうてつくん。
That single phrase. A whisper from Paulette's massages. A whisper from Paulette's massages and light. Oh, okay. Paulette massages and lightens my mind and body. Also, that most popular Uta video, I feel like I always see 487 on that video. It is stuck there. I mean, you know, if people aren't looking for My Klutzy Cupid Uta videos, then, you know,
こんな遅くまで付き合ってくれて。
not really much I can do to help it.
いや、秘書業務を溜め込んでしまっていたのは僕だ。ただ単に自分の負債を返済しているに過ぎんよ。
それでも、やっぱりありがとう。秘書だって私が無理ってお願いしたんだから。
それは誤解だ。
Paulette also looks exhausted. Her eyes are droopy.
僕はこう見えて存外とわがままでな。やりたくないことは誰にどう願われたところでやらん。
そっか。そうなら嬉しいな。
She smiles while holding her cup with both hands. Paulette ducks her head and drinks some tea. The smell of sweet milk floats all the way over to me.
こんな時間にあれだけど、ちょっと話大丈夫ですか？
今日、今夜はここで区切りとしておく。寝て起きてまで疲労を持ち越したくはないからな。
じゃあ、私もここまでにしておきます。話っていうのは客車のことなんです。
というと、目処がついたのか？
つくかもなんです。広島からお話があって、つってつにもともとあった客車を。
For example, if you feel like you want more of a VN character after finishing their route, or the VN, you could go over to the chatbot version. I mean, yeah.
つってつ？
はい、つってつ。西津軽鉄道さんの愛称です。
I'm guessing that's really good news. With every statement, Paulette smiles more and more. I want to be happy about that, but honestly, I don't quite understand what's going on.
津軽といえば青森だよな。もともと青森にあった客車がどうして広島になど？
ちょっと珍しい客車だからです。廃棄処分になるところを電車姫様が買い取って。
電車姫とは確か広島の毛利電鉄のオーナーのことだったか。
そうです。 正真正銘のお姫様で、正真正銘のマイテツですから、あの人は。いつか、どこか誰かが必要とする時のため、ストーブ客車を買い取り保存してくれてたんです。
ストーブ客車？
言っちゃった。
Apparently, she wanted to hold back for a dramatic effect. Paulette covers her mouth and grimaces as if she's failed at something. Even if she tried to hold back saying that, tried to hold off saying that for the sake of building suspense, I wouldn't have understood anyway.
ストーブ客車というのは、なんだ、そのままストーブがついている客車でいいのか？
Don't tell me you're going into the yakiniku direction again.
はい、そうです。青森の冬の風物詩ですね。
冬の風物詩。お人よで言えば、球磨川下りのこたつ船になるわけだな。
そうですね。あれとよく似た感じです。
She nods with vigor.
こたつの代わりにストーブ、熊焼酎の代わりに日本酒、おつまみは、そこは大きく違いますね。
Paulette's gaze softens.
ストーブだから上で焼けるんですよ。スルメとかお餅とか。
ああ、それはいいな。
Okay, they're not going in the same direction, but they're getting there. They're a few steps away from copying Hachiroku's route. I don't hold my alcohol well, but I can easily imagine a situation where I'd be tempted to drink.
お餅、私それまで見たことがなかったんですよ。冬はいっつもフランクにいましたから。
おう。
ストーブの上に網が乗ってて、その端っこのお餅からいい匂いがして、プーって膨れて。
She's describing one of her memories to me. The mental picture I create provides me a warm feeling inside.
触ってみたくて、でも触ったらやけどしそうで、じっと見てたらプシュンってしぼんで。
I'm fairly certain that the look Paulette has on her face now is the same one she had then. Her blue eyes glisten like that of a stream with the sun reflecting off of it.
でも車掌さんが裏返したらまたすぐに膨れて、もう私食べたくて。
食べたのだろう。砂糖醤油か、それともきな粉か。
海苔とお醤油です。海苔の風味とお餅の味が熱々でふわって広がって美味しかった。
I'm starting to get hungry.
口もお腹もポカポカで、ストーブはカンカンに燃えてて、なのに窓の外では地吹雪で雪が舞い上がって真っ白で。
真冬の旅か。
はい、初めて日の元で過ごした冬でした。
She closes her eyes for a few seconds, like she's looking through a window into her past or something. Like she's literally looking through the window in the CG. Oh my god, the symbolism is out of this world.
生まれて初めて夜行寝台に乗ったのもその時でした。個室の B 寝台。パパが下の個室、私は上の個室で。
親子旅だな。
She nods in agreement, but a doubt crosses my mind. If it was the first time she spent winter in Japan, and prior to that she spent the cold months in France, without the E, Paulette's mother is a France, I believe. Is a Franc or whatever. She's French. Why wasn't she in France during that particular winter? And better yet, why was her trip not with Mama and Papa? Maybe it was something as simple as her mom simply didn't like trains.
パパが大好きだったんです。夜行寝台、夜明け。上野発の青森行きです。
I've always wondered about this, but whenever Paulette talks about her past, it always has to do with her. It's always with her dad, never her mum. Bro, I think it's because either her mum left or she's dead.
本当に降りた時から青森駅は雪の中で、乗り換えて五所川原っていう駅から津鉄に乗って。
What was your mother doing? I feel like that question isn't something I can ask all nonchalant.
単線でストーブ列車はとっても静かで、ガイドのおばさんの津軽弁初めて聞くのに懐かしくて。
I heard it. Barely, but there was still stuff there. Look, all I'm saying is that if she doesn't want to talk about her mom, just don't bring it up. Alright? There's no need to ask about something she's not voluntarily bringing up herself. I suppose I can just save that question for another day. That's what I'm saying. Just don't say anything until she brings it up herself, alright? That's the best way to go about this. Especially if it's something traumatic, like her mom actually died. I simply want to enjoy the vibe right now. A vibe that's really been created merely by how happy Paulette seems.
駅のホームも雪に埋もれて、駅名表も読めなくて、停車のたびレールロードが運転士に抱えられて出てきて。
Not fixated on that doubt about her mom has fixating on that doubt about her mom has changed my mood completely. Paulette's voice and expression are just super comforting. As if being warmed by the stove, her nose, head, and cheeks have a pink hue to them.
小さな体がコートと長靴でモコモコしてて、吹雪にも負けない声で駅名と停車時間を伝えてくれて。
Paulette lets out a quiet sigh. Her eyes are welling up as she gently smiles.
多分あれで、あの旅で私本当に鉄道とレールロード大好きになった。
そうか。
I don't quite understand that feeling, to be honest. But it's because I don't understand that a different sort of emotion comes to the surface of my mind from somewhere deep inside of me.
とても豊かな旅だったのだな。僕も経験してみたかった。
Yeah, unfortunately, the first train ride you ever experienced fucking crashed, and the only people who died were your family.
できますよ、経験。
え?
Paulette's words catch me off guard. We both look surprised as we stare at each other for a few seconds.
津鉄さんもストーブ列車もまだ現役です。観光列車として一番くらいに名高いですから。
そうなのか。
I have a lot of respect for them, especially considering what it's probably taken to get to that point. For a brief moment, I think about riding the coattails of their success, but then reconsider. If we tried riding the coattails of the best tourism trains in Japan, not only would we be seen as a cheap knockoff, but we'd never be able to compete with that kind of prestige and success.
しかし、現役というのならなぜストーブ客車が広島に引き取られているのだ？
単純な老朽化です。古くなったからよそから比較的新しい客車を買い入れてストーブ化した。
ところてん方式で不要になった旧客車を電車姫様が引き取って保存していたということか。
そうなんです。定期的に客車交換できるくらいに津鉄さんは鉄道観光で成功してるんです。
Paulette opens the drawer and takes something out.
ああ、プリントしたのか。ナギが撮った写真だな。
In the center of the rainbow is the red railway bridge, and Kiha 7 is smack dab in the middle running across it.
これを電車姫様にお見せしたら興味を持ってくださって、それでマイントレジャー計画についてもお話しして。
手応えがあったのか。
はい、すごく面白がってくれて、で、ストーブ客車を譲ってくれてもいいってお話になったんです。
しかし、なぜマイントレジャーの話でストーブ？いや、ひょっとすると石炭ストーブという発想か？
大正解です、相鉄くん。
In the winter, we can do a coal stove shoveling experience workshop. That's a new option to consider. We can simply keep it off during the summer. I'd love to jump at the opportunity, but
老朽化で一度は引退した。しかも長く使われてなかった客車か。
yes, so the cost of repair would be very big.
そうなんです。そこがお話しして相談したかったところで。
I can feel myself frowning.
電車姫様の保存車両ですから、いい状態だと思います。けど、あの方は SL には詳しくないとも思いますから。
煙などに対して問題が出てくるかもしれぬということか。
はい、ないとは断言できません。
念のため聞くが、他の客車の当てはあるのか？
もう少し新しいのもあるにはあるんですが、そっちは優勝になっちゃうんですよ。
ということは、広島の話は？
無償です。5菓子です。移送も九州に上陸するまではやってくれるそうです。
随分と気前のいい話だな。
マイントレジャーが稼働したら一番に招待してくれればそれでいいって。
Paulette makes a big smile.
鉄道を好きになってくれる人が増えれば、それは電車姫様にも嬉しいことだからって。
Ah, I think I understand. They're not mere colleagues in the same industry anymore. Paulette and the train princess are tantamount to comrades.
ならば、悩むまでもあるまい。もらおう。
ですよね。これっていいお話ですよね。やっぱり。
Paulette's expression lightens up. Ah, so that's why. She was worrying about it because she has strong feelings about either the stove passenger car or train princess. She thought that it might have skewed her judgment.
相談してもらえて光栄だ。
Paulette's normally cautious, and yet she requires my opinion and decision. It gives me pride and joy. Gives me pride and brings me joy that she values my input.
そう思ってもらえるの、私こそ光栄です。
She turns a little red and looks down. In the next moment, she looks upward with a determined look in her eye.
さっきの話、ストーブ列車を経験してみたいって。
ああ。
それよかったら、今度、落ち着いたら、経験ですから、
そうだな。この状況が落ち着いて、マイントレジャーが無事に立ち上がったら。
Paulette nods numerous times, and then she closes her lips. Her eyes are full of hope as she waits for my words.
その時には、僕と一緒に乗ってくれないか。青森、津軽のつってつさんのストーブ列車に。
へえ、それはとてもいい話に聞こえるね。おめでとう。
祝辞をもらうには早すぎる。逆者が来ても運用できれば意味がない。
The moment I say that, Kisaki squints a little. It's not that she's happy. It feels as if she's sizing me up.
なら、ここに来たのは、運用準備の一環として、ということになるかな。
ありていに言えば、そういうことだ。
She instantly agreed to this appointment with a direct call. This must be proof of what Kisaki thinks of the mine treasure plan.
こちらの資料をご覧ください。
As usual, she seems quite distant, but Paulette is much more assertive this time. She hands over the materials before being asked, and also provides an explanation.
以上のように、テーマパーク化による雇用促進も行いたいと考えています。
となると、経費も随分と膨らんでくるのでは？
はい、概算ですが、開業から5年間の資金計画を作成してきました。
へえ。
Isaki's eyes look down on the paper given to her, and they widen in surprisal at something. Gradually, she squints more and more, as if being overtaken by a bad mood.
この辺の線引き。君はしっかり意識してると思ってたのだけれど。
線引きって？
講師のさ。市が主体となるとは決まっていない事業案を、市職員を使って作らせるなどというのは。
あ、いえ、使ってません。誰の手も。枕さんに見てもらってアドバイスももらいましたけど、基本的には私一人でこの資料は。
一人って。
You didn't expect that, did you? Possibly out of surprise, Kisaki's expression becomes stiff.
それなら、他の資料群も？
マイントレジャーの施設やアトラクション関係は、相鉄くんが主体となって作成してくれてます。
つまり、それら以外は、君が主体というわけか。
A long sigh with a hint of disgust mixed in. Kisaki's frozen expression finally moves.
余計なお世話かもしれないが。いないポーレット。君はいつ寝てるんだい？
I mean, considering that her overworking herself to the bone was a main plot, was a point in Hachiroku and Hibiki's routes. I doubt it's different in Paulette's route.
いつって、夜から朝です。
はは。
具体的には、何時から何時まで？
それは日による感じで。
僕も、ある意味では同じような立場にいるから、わかるつもりだ。
A sense of heat I've never felt before is present in her gaze and words.
男社会で、有無を言わせず結果を認めさせるためには、多少の無理も必要だ。けど、それにしたって限度がある。
I mean, considering that she had to resign in 2 routes, she's probably going to resign in her own route too.
それは、ちゃんと無理しないようコントロールしてるつもりです。
そうかい？なら、余計なお世話だったね。
いえ、そんな、ありがとうございます。
お礼を言われることでもないさ。
Her tone goes back to the temperature I'm used to. Her gaze becomes sharp, and she turns back to the paper.
この資金計画、 進行水位を極めて緩やかなものと想定しているけど、これは。
ご想像の通り、エアクラ工場誘致がなされないということを前提にした想定です。
僕の勤める銀行は、エアクラ工場誘致を推進している立場だけれど。
そのことはもちろん知っています。
Hang on, go back to what she just said. The bank I'm working for is on the side supporting the factory, you know. The bank you're working for, you mean the one that you're sitting in right now, that your dad owns. You could have just said our bank is siding with the factory, right? Is on the side supporting the factory. Kisaki looks up from the documents and gazes straight at Paulette. Paulette doesn't turn away, though meeting her gaze instead.
でも、響ちゃんもあなたも、求めているのは、お人よの持続的発展のための最善策だとも認識してます。
マイントレジャー計画は、エアクラ工場誘致に勝る持続発展のための手段になると？
そうかどうかを判断してもらうために、資料を作成してきました。
Very Japanese of you. Kisaki looks at the paper one more time. She picks up a 3-color ballpoint pen and starts drawing lines and writing small notes in it. A little over 30 minutes pass. Kisaki had been looking through the materials silently, but she finally turns to us.
事業主体は株式会社形式での第三セクターを考えている。
Third sector. It's a public and private partnership for joint investment and joint management of the business. Considering the scale and mission, that would be ideal for the mission for the mine treasure operation.
はい、基本的には。ですので、熊本銀行さんにもご出資いただければと願っています。
他の出資者は、首都お人用鉄道、右太一酒造元、球磨川下りといったあたりになるのかな。
美濃笠果樹店さん、旗ボイラさんもご検討くださってます。それと、個人では赤い宮司さん。
赤い宮司？あの人が。
はい、他にも永山寺のご住職夫妻がそれぞれに、それとトロル湯のご主人も。
なるほど。少額からの受付で出資しやすくすることにより、私たちのマイントレジャーという意識を持ってもらう。
Kisaki sees right through our first reason on why we chose the third sector format.
その上で、公的支援もフル活用して余裕を持つ。
Jesus Christ. Go back.
技術継承担当とは。
What the fuck happened there? Anyway.
その上で、公的支援もフル活用して余裕を持つ。技術継承担当とは、面白い視点に気づいたね。
それは、相鉄くんのアイディアなんです。
あ、相鉄の？
うん。炭鉱について、炭鉱師について。僕も、僕なりに勉強したのだ。
There's been a large decrease in domestic demand for coal, but it's been confirmed that the supply of it is still ample. That's why we have to maintain our mining technologies in case the demand for coal is revived.
北海道は釧路にあった技術継承炭鉱も、しかし、エアクラの発展、普及によって閉山された。
だからマイントレジャーにその役割をも負わせる。そうすれば国からの補助金も期待できるというわけだね。
そう。そして、旧10船炭鉱の現所有者はお人よしであり、 補助金制度はまだ生きている。
On that specific topic, we didn't have the experience to put together all the necessary information, so we got help from Miyamoto. Being the previous mayor's right-hand man, that person carries influence with all the city hall employees.
僕は市長秘書だ。お人よしが受給可能かもしれない補助金については、当然、秘書の職務として調査した。
職務としてね。なるほど。その結果は？
技術継承炭鉱の認定が取得可能である見込みは大きい。これほどに状態のいい炭鉱は、もはや残っていないそうだ。
なるほどね。
Kisaki closes her eyes. With her eyes still closed, she whispers,
個人としては、僕も出資をしたいと思う。議会を通過し、市の出資が確定した後の話だけれど。
おお。
ありがとうございます。
いや、相鉄の言葉を借りるわけでもないけれど、謝辞をもらうにはまだ早すぎるよ。
She hits the paper with her pen and then turns to me with a sharp glare.
この計画の成功には、熊本銀行の出資も必須となる。けれど、その判断は支店長レベルではできない。
なら判断は支店長レベルより上ですから。
熊本銀行頭取、宝生元忠氏によるわけか。
そうだね。そして、宝生元忠氏は、エアクラ工場誘致自体を目的としているようだ。
Establishing the factory is his primary goal, not the development of Hitoyo or Hitoyo. If Kisaki's words are true, then it'll be difficult to obtain the loan from Kumamoto Bank.
それが熊銀にとって最大の利益を見込める計画だからか。
もちろん。熊本銀行は一私企業、営利企業であるのだから。
営利が目的である以上、方針転換もありますね。仮に利益が見込めない状況に陥ってしまうなら。
それもまあ当然のことだと思うね。損失を意図的に出せば背任だもの。
In the next instant, Paulette has a relieved look, while Kisaki appears smug. It seems that they've come to a mutual understanding, but I have no idea what's going on.
例えばどういう状況だ？確実に利益が見込めなくなるというのは。
マイントレジャー議案が通過して市が事業主体の一員になればそれだけで。
うん。
Kisaki scoffs at me.
マイントレジャー計画の主体は相鉄じゃないのかい？川下りをアトラクションの一つとして。
ああ、そうか。河川使用の許可か。
The use of the Kuma River for downstreaming on a specific range and the use of the boat dock are obtained through a permit granted to the Kuma River Downstreaming Company. But as of right now, no one has obtained the permit for the riverbank around the area where the aircraft factory is to be built.
川と河川敷の使用許可は地方整備局が原則該当自治体の意見をもとに出すものですから。
市が事業主体となれば、少なくとも球磨川下り流域の河川敷の占有使用許可を得ることができる。
占有は空いたと同じ意味だからね。そうなれば他の誰も球磨川下り流域河川敷の用地利用できなくなる。
つまりエアクラ工場誘致を完全に阻止できるわけだな。
No matter how big the business may be, they would have to give up if they weren't approved to proceed. Although I'm working as a politician's secretary, I had no idea how powerful governance can be. Really.
ただ、動くなら急いだ方がいい。宝生元忠という人は完全な実力主義だから。
もう。
工場誘致を進展させられない無能な支店長は解任し、自ら陣頭指揮を取るくらい簡単にやるということさ。
あ。
It may be a misunderstanding, but could it be that Hosho Kisaki she may have delayed the movement of the aircraft factory to get a better idea of our plans and potential?
そして、無能な支店長とは違い、
Excuse me?
有能な頭取は国政レベルに働きかけられる。
I wasn't as bad, but it's the fact that it glitched out at 7 minutes of the recording is fucking bizarre. I hate OBS.
そうだね。その理解で正しいよ。一度出した許認可はさすがに覆せないだろうが。
Upon seeing Paulette's stern face, Kisaki appears to nod with satisfaction.
許認可については、該当自治体の意見を聞くという原則程度、いくらでも曲げられてしまうものらしいから。
では、そのキャストについてはどのように？
It's the obligatory assembly meeting that we have to have in every route.
お人よ市民を中心にした公募採用を検討しています。
それはつまり、雇用促進につながるということになりますか？
Only three more days until the last session. We didn't have time to play tricks on the assembly, but Paulette is doing well with the questioning. Not having hecklers is huge. Everyone is earnestly trying to decide the benefits and drawbacks of the plan. Paulette doesn't have her own political party. The supporters of the previous mayor, Hinai, had scattered to different parties. The ones supporting Paulette now are limited only to the ones who opposed the aircraft factory.
客車は無償譲渡されるということですが、これは？
広島電気鉄道様がマイントレジャー計画への全面的な賛同を示してくださっています。
As of right now, there are very few people who provide full support to the mine treasure plan. This assemblywoman and few others have given their support. The remaining members are waiting to see, or have clearly disapproved, are waiting and seeing. Still, the aircraft factory supporters aren't a monolithic group. There are some who see that the mine treasure plan can provide greater profits than with the factory. Those types of people are not fixated on staying with the other supporters. That's why we focused on a smaller number of points. It's a matter of how many points we can gain during this hearing through our allied assemblymen, and how many of the questions from the opposing assembly members we can get through. In that sense, this assembly meeting could possibly be ideal with how it's going. The quality of the plan and the chance for success will lead directly to this plan passing or not in the assembly.
なるほど。ご計画について理解させていただきました。ありがとうございました。
これにて斉藤議員の質問時間を終わります。
The proceedings continue on. We've already told the chairman of the movements of Hosho Mototada. We have to get approval by the last session. we can't do that, if we can't do that, it would make the assembly itself meaningless. Because the chairman is faithful to his duties, he conducts the proceedings properly.
お人よの未来を考える会、新津議員、質問をどうぞ。
Being called out by the chairman, a man with a thin build heads to the podium. Assemblyman Nitsu. He is one of the upper-ranked assemblymen who supports the aircraft factory.
三席形式を取ると言っていますが、結局のところ利益が出た場合はお人よ鉄道にも入りますよね。
He picks a fight right off the bat, but Paulette remains calm and answers.
はい、ご指摘の通りです。
それは市政を利用して私腹を肥やす行為なのではないですか？
かかるご懸念の発生はごもっともだと思います。ので、本議案の成立時には同問題を解消することを約束します。
解消とは？
市長職を辞し、兼職を解消するということです。
No way! I never would have guessed that she would resign. That's a big shocker to everyone in the room. Paulette drops a major bomb, causing murmurs to spread throughout the assembly.
それは順序が逆でしょう。営利のために公職を放棄するなどと。
交通のため、少なくともお人よにおいて鉄道は必要です。その維持管理のため、現状、私の能力は不可欠です。
なら、今すぐに辞職をすればいい。そんな半端な覚悟の市長に、お人よの舵取りは任せられない。
今私が辞任することは、民意の放棄につながります。エアクラ工場誘致反対の一票への責任の放棄です。はい、そうです。青森の冬の風物詩ですね。
Where am I? Yeah.
今私が辞任することは民意の放棄につながります。
You already said that.
エアクラ工場誘致反対の一票への責任の放棄です。
She does not waver, or does Assemblyman Nitsu.
ですので、議案を成立させ、代替案を示すところまでが私の議員としての最低限の責任であると考えます。
工場誘致反対さえ成し遂げれば、後の政治的責任は放棄するとおっしゃるわけですか？
市長選にはマイントレジャー計画推進を後継してくれる候補を立てます。
民意はそれで問い直せるわね。
不規則発言を禁止します。
He quickly stops the interruption. He makes no distinction whether it supports or opposes Paulette. The atmosphere of the assembly becomes more serious as the exchange between Assemblyman Nitsu and Paulette continues.
ご答弁をありがとうございました。
以上にて、新津議員の質問時間を終わります。市民の党、関原議員、質問をどうぞ。
関原です。
The old assemblyman stands up, with uneven footsteps. This person also opposes the building of the aircraft factory, but he's sharply glaring at Paulette today.
わしらね、市長。術先端工で昔働いていたとですよ。
My condolences. It seems that he doesn't care about the questioning time limit. Assemblyman Sekihara starts talking about the history of Jutsusen coal mine in a detached way. There used to be a town there where the people lived a plentiful life.
最短は国の基幹産業の一つと言われておりましてな。術船はその中でも10市に入る有料炭鉱だったとです。
Well, maybe if you were like top 5 coal mines, you wouldn't have shut down. The power plant and state-of-the-art facilities he talks about the reasons why those were left behind. The Judicen coal mine was a much richer mine than we had thought.
石炭場不要になるとは誰も思うとらんかったとです。国も養蚕補助金ば送り込んでくれました。
Perhaps only I noticed because I'm standing behind. But Paulette is sweating profusely along her neck. Could it be the lights? The air conditioning should be running fine.
ばってん石油に追われ石炭は不要になったとです。国は補助金ば打ち切って手のひら返しよったとですよ。
術戦炭鉱の会計資料については私も確認させていただいております。
Paulette's voice is calm. That makes me all the more worried.
国から見捨てられた後はもう下り坂を転げるようなもんだったとです。
She didn't say anything. She mumbled something. I could only faintly hear something. Her position is still the same, but sweat begins to drip off her neck. I knew that Paulette had the possibility of having this kind of anxiety. Regret climbs from inside my throat. I knew that, but I couldn't do anything. Even Kisaki clearly warned us that she had been straining herself physically. No, it's not that I couldn't do anything. I didn't do anything. I knew it, and left her to her own devices. I left her to own devices. Being busy is no excuse. Business is how much load is placed on Paulette's shoulders.
この計画は面白かもんと思います。が、補助金頼りな点がどうにも気になりますけん。
頼ってなんて。
The abnormalities aren't limited to her body anymore.
それはもし補助金が出なくてもその採算きちんと取れるように。
Her knees are weak. Arms are heavy. Her legs are starting to shake violently, which is affecting her speech as well. What should I do? If I interrupt the assembly, that would be considered interference on Paulette's hearing. As long as Paulette does not ask for help, as long as the hearing continues, I can't support Paulette.
売り上げが想定より 10% 下がるだけで赤字転落。今見通しはどう見ても補助金頼りですとね。
大丈夫です。頼らなくても一人でも。
ポーレット。
Murmurs start to grow louder in the assembly. The observant ones probably already noticed something's wrong. Perhaps Assemblyman Sekihara doesn't notice, or perhaps he doesn't know. He does so knowingly. He continues on, indifferent.
今施設の維持ば難しかとですよ。いい時はいつまでも続きやしませんけんね。
Slowly but yet surely, Paulette's shaking in her leg is spreading to the rest of her body. Her pale complexion becomes even whiter. It is now almost to a sickly color.
無理なら中断。答弁の中断を要求するんだ、ポーレット。
A whisper from the side. My voice shouldn't be heard by the others in the assembly. The only ones who did hear it are Paulette, the chairman, and the stenographers.
無理じゃないから。私大丈夫。頑張れるから。
Paulette answers me, but Assemblyman Sekihara takes that as part of the hearing.
わしらとて死に物狂いで頑張りに頑張りましたがの。
頑張れるから役に立つから。
言うても仕方のなかことですの。周りがそうと思うてくれにゃどうもならんけん。
I knew she was overworking herself and didn't do anything about it. I didn't have the courage to take a step forward to ask about her past. I realized that I'm the one who's been driving Paulette into a corner to the point that it's come to this. Then I...
落ち込み始めたもんはもうそら悲惨ですたい。誰も見向きもせんようになり、さらには厄介者ば言われて。
Scream feels as the scream feels as she's frozen. What? That scream feels as she's frozen. Paulette's face and body are completely stiff. Is this a court for anime? You're down bad. I'm not the one simping for the characters, alright? You're the one doing that.
ポーレット
She falls forward. Like a tree cut with an axe, her legs grow weak, and she falls to her side. This is a very serious scene, Jordan. I don't need you, something. Yeah. I don't know what I was gonna say.
市長
間に合った。間に合ってます。抱き留めた。
I hold her in both my arms. I don't think she hit her head or body on anything. But why is she so cold? I could feel the sensation in my hands. Paulette's body is like ice, with specks of cold sweat sticking to her.
暫時休憩。いや、関原議員の質問時間は終わりです。
ああ。
A powerless, worried nod. After seeing that, the chairman stands up.
本日の議会は終了します。次回日程は明後日13時から引き続き本議案の審議を行います。
What is she doing underneath the desk? Don't try to misinterpret the scene, alright? Maitetsu.
「だからその件については悪かったと謝っている。
Why is it Sotetsu's voice actor, alright? Anyway, I think that's a good place to end it off for today. So, thanks for watching. Thank you for lurking. Thank you for chatting. If you enjoyed it, follow me, appreciate it, and you want to support me even further, you could always subscribe. But, yeah. I will be playing more Maitetsu tomorrow. Because we've gotten to the character's low point, and I've got the feeling that we're close to the ending. Maybe. Who knows? You know, Hachiroku's route and Hibiki's route still had 5/6 more chapters after this, including this 10th one. So, we might not get to there. Why are you asking for Seton Academy? It's Tuesday. But, anyway, until then, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, and I will see you guys again next time. Bye bye.